What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? The tourney is here. What a wild day so far. I am 1-1. I hope you guys are in the black. This is going to be a packed show. We have NCAA going on as we speak. In 8 minutes, we're going to be joined by Ski Profit to break down the NBA card. And then Maxwell Smart will come and join us in 30 minutes to break down what's left of this NCAA basketball card. I'm on Marquette right now, and I'm going to try to not pay a lot of attention. But I almost took Maryland for the same reason why I was taking Marquette. I think that the public is backing John Morant from Murray State. The public is backing Belmont because these teams in the 11th seed that come in with a play-in win tend to roll in this tournament. I thought that both of Maryland and Marquette had a ton of value, but I got talked off of Maryland, which is fine. But Marquette's going to pay me. Marquette's going to pay me. I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped to be here. It is Thursday, March 21st, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we have a packed show. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We got Joe Rich Ramirez says over 128 Nova, Lean Boilermakers. We got Ernest Welch in the house. We got Red Girl Straight Fire giving out winners. We got Ron Lofton, B. Fulton, Robert Preston, Ricardo Gutierrez, Jorge Don't Play, Vegas Gun in the house, Coco Bongo, Josh Kidd Kanalaya, Ron Lofton, Von Polo, Il Wise, Raymond Coker, Sean Robertson. What a great group. And let's get right to work. Jason Soto says, I need Marquette. We're going to be just fine. PK in the house. Jason Soto says, I need Marquette. Do pay me. I think that's what's going to happen. And just by my volume and my lung not collapsing, I think I'm actually getting a little bit better. Just a little bit better each and every day. Coco Bongo says, I'm on Marquette as well. Eminem Parlay, I like it. Gabriel Hernandez in the house. Spencer Hicks, ready to rock. Ilwise says, Jimmy, I hope you took Minnesota first half. I gave it to you in the early show. I did it for 100 on the roll today, so I'm going to go a little higher with the roll. I love Atlanta first quarter against the spread. Run with me. Well, Ilwise, I wish I had to run with you, and I didn't. But maybe I jump with you here. So Ilwise, we'll break that game down with Ski Profit. Buck Nasty in the house. I got to run with Buck Nasty when I went out to L.A. Shout out to Buck Nasty. Beats, ready to rock. Says no Darren Carlson tonight. Warriors roll for Durant's brother. Wow. Denver roll. No Reese on the back-to-back with the Wizards. Wow. Yeah, we heard about Durant's brother, and that's just sad news. Sending strength and love to the Durant family. Heartbreaking stuff. Okay, Lil J ready to rock. David Stewart ready to rock says FML down so much. We can get that back on this show. David Stewart, we'll get it back on this show. Sean Robertson, very important. Peter Loshak always talked about money management, the importance of money management. You know, not betting outside of your ability, or not ability, but your financial availability. Why don't we say that? And Sean Robertson saying deep breaths and don't chase boys and girls. Let's get through this hockey card immediately. But first, I must talk very happily about the big poker tournament on Monday with Bovada. I will be in it. We're going to have Whale Capper, Drew Martin, Maxwell Smart will all be in it. And the winner gets an all-expenses paid trip. Winner gets 2 flights to Minnesota, tickets to the Final Four in the championship game, 4 nights hotel, food, money, and it sounds like a really nice prize. So that will be the winner of the poker tournament. That's Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and I will be here ready to rock. Okay, Chris Kwiswa in the house says, see Priest to you from Calgary. Shout out to everybody in Cowtown watching the show. A really good city, man. I did not enjoy my time in Edmonton, but I certainly did like my time in Calgary, especially when the Chinooks come rolling in. Okay. Jason Stone said I had Louisville and 4 parlays. Damn. Okay. Ravon Polo said, let's go Maryland. Okay, let's get to work here. Let's break down this NHL card real fast. And I'm not going to break down the games. I've done that on the morning show. We're just going to quickly go over line movements, and I'll tell you what I'm on. And I don't think it's a jinx to tell you 2 of the last 3 Thursdays I've gone 6-0. I don't believe in that stuff being jinxes. That's just facts. 6-0, 2 of the last 3 Thursdays, and I need a night tonight. My last 48 hours has been really bad. I'm 1-1 to start today, but my last 48 hours is bad. I had a winning day Monday, and Tuesday, Wednesday, just took it right in the old drink hole. Okay, Coyotes, Panthers. I got over 5.5. Let's see what you'd get now. Coyotes, Panthers. Wow, I thought 6s would be on the board, and still no. You could still get 5.5 at -119, to be honest. So I didn't even really beat that move. Arizona, Florida. I know Arizona's been playing tighter, but Florida can score, and Luongo is vulnerable at all times. That's my first play, and I made that in the morning thinking I would beat a line, and that line move, and I didn't. Okay, and I'm just going to quickly go through this as fast as possible because we have Ski Profit joining us in 5 minutes. Bruins -1.5. I got -108. You can't get -108 anymore. Best you can get is -110 and 5 dimes, 2 cents. You know, not a big beating there. Lightning, Hurricanes. I got Hurricanes -110 on the money line. Wow, I crushed that line move. There you go. There you go. Best you get minus 136. 26-cent line move. Beautiful. Canadians minus 1.5. I got that at plus 190. Montreal Canadiens minus 1.5. I went through all the injuries the Islanders are dealing with on the early show. A lot of injuries. Islander and a lot of their defensive presence and what's the word I'm looking for? Accountability. Thank you. Their defensive accountability. Alex Ramirez in the house. Jason Soto says Maryland up 2. Adrian A joining us. Robert Preston says Monday's my birthday. High stakes. Wow. Happy birthday, Robert Preston. Happy birthday. Quisawa, though. I got it now, right? Chris Quisawa? Quisawa? Just took me a second. Chris Quisawa. I got it, man. I got it. Just took me a second. I'm barely sleeping these days. Young Haas 973 says, Jimbo, thank you guys all for joining us. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going through this card right here. I got Canadians minus 1.5 and a plus 190. And the best you get now is plus 195, 5 dimes. So that's not really a beating there. I don't usually back the Canadians, but I'm doing it here, and I'm doing it confidently. Too many injuries with the Islanders. Blues minus 1.5. I got that at minus 120. You can still get that at minus 120. And I understand why that wouldn't get even worse. I can understand that. Okay. And then let's keep rolling along. We got Maine 910 saying, what up from Alaska? Shout out to everybody in Alaska watching the show. Great. Thank you for joining us, Maine 910. Okay. Let's keep going. Penguins, Predators. I'm on the under 6 at plus 107. Now, I like that play more than Gabe Pasquis, spectacular capper. He's staying off of this game, but I think the under is in play, and you can get a plus 105 now, so whatever, 2 cents. Beat that line move by 2 cents. Flyers, Blackhawks, I'm off of it. Talk about volatility, and I don't want to jump on a 7. Let's see what the moves could be on that 7. Wow, a lot of 6.5s back on the board. Only a few 7s now. Okay, so Avalanche Stars, I've decided not to back the Avalanche. I just don't trust them, and I really like these plays. I'm on in my card. Senators, Flames, I am off. I don't want to take the Flames minus 1.5 and minus 150, but Sean Monahan will be back in the lineup. Allison's on Jackets puck line and Preds money line. I am on the Jackets puck line, rolling with Allison here. I got minus 1.5 at plus 187. Let's see what I would have got right now. Again, there is not going to be Bobrovsky. We didn't know that when we made the bet. So this is probably a worse line. You probably can get a better line now, seeing that the Jackets on the road and Korpisalo's in goal. Let's see. And plus 196. Oh, plus 198 at Heritage. So yeah, that was about a 10-cent move with that backup goalie. And Ashley Wynn parlayed the 2 unders that you're on. You know, that's going to pay out nice because the Penguins one is on the plus money. So that's exciting. Ashley Wynn, loving your unders, just like our man Noli knows. Okay, and then the Knights minus 1.5. I think that the Jets are happy with their road trip and don't need any more from it. And this Knights team is just rolling incredibly well. I say Lightning because they're the best 2 teams. They're playing like the best 2 teams in the NHL right now. And Hellebuck coming off that shutout last night, first shutout of the year, so Bressois will be in goal. The Jets still have 3 defensemen out, even though they got Morrow back. They still don't have Bouillot, so I'm fine here. I got plus 160, and you can't get that anymore, so that's okay. Plus 155 is best you can get at Heritage, so 5-cent move there. And then I'm on the under in the Sharks-Kings, and this used to be a guaranteed under historically, and now the Kings are playing higher scoring games right now, but I remember the good old days when this was a 5.5 or even a 5. I mean, we've seen 5s in this matchup before. I got minus 113, and you can't get minus 113 anymore. So you can get minus 115 at Heritage or 5 dimes. So that's a 2-cent line move. That is my NHL card, folks. Alex Ramirez said, hey, Jimmy, I want a low bagger cap like the one you're wearing. Where can I order one? We will talk. Alex Ramirez, my man, and thank you for being interested in that. Mr. Gokes, you're liking the Tampa Bay Lightning, Carolina under 6.5. That's an interesting spot. That's it. But then you have to trust Louis Domingue, Mr. Ghoster, which can be dangerous. Mr. Ghoster, I now have that shirt that you gave the office, the Canada shirt that you autographed. I got that up on the wall where I work, so I got that up. So I think of you every day, Ghoster. And Steve Cordero saying 36-28 Murray, nothing to worry about. Even Max was on Murray State first half, and Marquette, full game. Marquette takes care of business. Okay, that's what's up. Young Huss says, Warrior Kings used to play old school hockey. Yeah, they don't anymore. They used to win, too, and they don't anymore. SM says, just hammer the Flames, win regulation, minus 200 for Sens. I get that. Astute Chaos, ready to rock. Raymond Coker says, Marquette needs to step up. Brian Watson says, I'm 0 for 4th today so far. Don't worry, the tourney is early. Jason Soto just took Marquette plus 220 on the money line. Nice slide bet there. And that is our NHL card. Let's move on to the hardwood. And we have special guest NBA expert, my man Ski Prophet in the house. Ski, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing well, Jimmy. It's good to be rocking with you. Let's break down the card, get to business, get these winners.
Let's do exactly that. Exactly that. Let's start. Let's just go in order and hammer each and every one of these games. And I've made no bets yet. So I'm looking forward to see
Same here.
what we should jump on here. And this Timberwolves Hornets looks as good as any. Let me just move on to SBRodds.com. We're on NBA SBRodds.com. We're going to go to spreads and totals. So Charlotte opens up at -3.5. It was just 5.5s on the board early on the early show. Now there's some 5s. A bookmaker and a Bovada. This total is stuck around 222 all day long. We know that this Timberwolves team dealing with a ton of injuries. Jeff Teague, done for the season. Luol Deng, maybe done for the season. Derrick Rose will not play with the elbow injury. Covington, done for the season. I don't know if you know about Taj Gibson, but he's questionable to play too. My goodness. This Timberwolves team is beaten up, but I like what Okogie's doing. I like what Tyus Jones is doing. And we know Karl Anthony Towns playing spectacularly well. This Hornets team's not to be trusted. They're just not to be trusted, man. They just keep losing and losing and losing. 4-11 over their past 15, and I guess they've given up now in that playoff spot, trailing the Heat by too much now with too little left. Ski, Timberwolves at Hornets.
I feel like I agree with everything you're saying. I feel like the Hornets still maybe have a chance. I feel like they're not knocked out yet, but it's getting slim. And as far as Taj Gibson, just a couple minutes ago, he got ruled out, so he's not going to play. Minnesota, that's a team that's too far out of the hunt. Like, they're packing it in, and they're already not a good road team. They haven't been playing well. They're 15-22 against the spread on the road. They're 1-6 against the spread their last 7. They haven't covered their last 7 on the road. Another stat, they're 5-11 when the spread is +3.5 to +6.5. I don't really see a reason to back the Timberwolves, but at the same time, you said it already, Jimmy. I don't really trust this Hornets team. You don't have Zeller. I was trying to find if Tony Parker will be in the lineup. I didn't see whether he was. I don't see his name listed out, so I'll assume he's in. You want to have Tony Parker, but I just don't trust him. They still have to push for the playoffs, but it's not a team I can trust.
Absolutely well put. My question is, with Cody Zeller, left knee soreness, he was doubtful earlier. I expect him not to be in the lineup. If he's not in the lineup, and this is why I unless you change my mind, I can't take the Hornets. Who slows down Karl Anthony Towns?
Nobody, not Biyombo. So, I mean, I think Karl Anthony Towns is going to do his thing. Whether or not it's going to be enough, I can't tell you. Last 5 game stats favor Minnesota as far as offensive rating, defensive rating, rebound percentage. They win 2 out of 3, and both teams are not playing well. So it's just one. I think it's too many points. Like, we know the Hornets throughout the year, we've thought of the Hornets as a great home team and not a great home team, but better at home than away. And I'm looking at their numbers against the spread at home. They're 16, 18-2, not even 500. So I think the number could be a little high, 5.5 points. They could squeak out a win, but I wouldn't put my money on it, Jimmy.
Yeah. At this point, I don't think so either. Yellow Jesus says 111.89 Hornets. Adrian A says I'm a guru, Jimmy. We love you. Adrian A says Jazz and Pistons night on the hardwood. At this point, I don't want to make a move, and I have a difficult time. Wolf of In Play says Towns prop bet. Yeah, that makes sense to me. What I don't want to do is try and figure out the total in this game because the Timberwolves are not scoring like they were, but the Hornets can throw duds, absolute duds. You know, Brian B says, Ski always puts a smile on my face. He does the same for me. I'm not going to make a move right now, but if I get through this card and haven't made any moves, then I will make a move on the Hornets. So it's not that it's just that I think we can find better angles on this game on this card at this point. Let's roll on to the next game. Let's move on to Nuggets Wizards. I'm coming off a bad read on this Wizards squad. I thought they could take care of business against the Bulls team with no Levine and no Otto Porter, and I was mistaken. Denver opening up at -4.5. It's been up at 8.5. It was 8.5 in the morning, so it hasn't moved that much from the morning show. But BetOnline put it out yesterday afternoon. And the total, so that was the reason why it's such a big move is because that was before the Wizards shit the bed in Chicago. Washington, Denver total opens up at 232 and it's now down to 229.5 or 229. Ski, Nuggets, Wizards. What do you think here?
Man, I think it's my first thought is I'm with you, Jimmy. Wizards have been doing me dirty lately. They're 7-3 against the spread their last 10. I think I was on 2 of those losses. Denver, we think of them not so much as a great road team, and we think of Washington as a great home team. And I mean, we thought they were going to win yesterday because they're trying to push for the playoffs. They can make up for it. I mean, if they were to win this game here, not saying that they're going to win, but that's motivation to get some effort because you look on the schedule, they might have chalked this one up as just an L anyway. Denver 14-9 against the spread on the road. They're 6-10 as a road favorite, 7-11 versus 45% win teams or more. But their last 5 road games, they're 4-1 against the spread. If I would have to lean Washington. I think 8.5 points is just too many. 7-4 as a home dog. I just can't put my money on it again. I've had a tough read on Washington, and another stat, they're 10-3 on the second game of a back-to-back. So I think everything just favors Washington as far as that. The last 5 game stats, however, all do favor Denver: offensive rating, defensive rating, rebound percentage. I want to look at the total. I know Denver's under 21-11 on the road, and Washington plays more towards the over. But Washington lately, they've been going under 4 of the last 6. Denver under 11 of the last 12. I think it could be another under game.
I think so too. But again, the Wizards just scare me at home. Sweaty Butcher on this under. Red Girl says under. It went under last, but it went into OT. Yeah, shout out to Trot Wham in the house. Looks like John Moran just hit a big 3 with 4 seconds left in that half. 7-point lead for Murray State. Everything's going to be fine. Marquette will take care of business second half. King Rail says Nuggets going to eat inside all night. Take the 8. You know,
That's true.
They will.
I don't really see much resistance. You have Bobby Porter. I mean, who's going to stop Jokic and Millsap? But that's a great point. I mean, if they're dominating inside, they can run away.
But this is a Nuggets team that's 17-16 on the road. You know, Wizards are still trying. Yeah, I hear what King's saying, and I hear about the under. I both plays make sense, especially with the Wizards going to have heavy legs in the second half. David Stewart says again, too many points.
Second of a back-to-back, Jimmy.
Yeah.
10-3, second of back-to-back.
Oh wow, 10-3.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Don't hate, cause I'm says both teams play no defense. Again, I have a lean towards the under, but I don't know if I want to jump on it. Alex Ramirez says, sorry, Jimmy, thought that was a low bag cap. Long Beach. Yeah, it's both, man. It's both. SM liking the Jokic 21.5 point over prop. Breeds Beat says no Ariza. Wizards tired. Nuggets roll. I mean, that's simply put and well put. They probably do roll. I just, and they're a healthy team, and they're going to play everybody, right? This is a chance to give all their bench, which is proven to be quite strong, opportunities. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not making a move at this point.
I agree with you, Jimmy. I think the next 2 games, I believe, that we're going to talk about, I think there should be money to be made here. I think this is where we're going to find our money.
Well, let's talk Jazz Hawks. Jazz opening up at 8, and now there is an 8 at Pinnacle at plus 103, but minus 7.5 everywhere else. This total opened at 225 and is now 226. Up until last night, the Jazz were playing very good defense, and they didn't have to play good defense last night. I mean, they destroyed the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. The Hawks had been scoring huge amounts of points up until their last game. Their last game, they only put up how many points? 105 in that loss to Houston. I'd love to hear your breakdown on this, Paul. Why don't we start with you? Jazz, Hawks.
Well, I'll start where we started off. Jazz, I mean, they didn't have to play defense last game. Do they have to play defense here? It's another game where they can run away with, and we see kind of more of a fast-paced, high-scoring affair. I would kind of lean more towards that. The Hawks, 19-16, over at home. They're over 19-9 versus plus 500 teams or greater. The over is 7-5 on a second of a back-to-back for the Jazz. I think it'll be just like another game that we saw with the Knicks. Just they kill them. Their last 5 games for the Jazz, they've won by 17, 20, 16, 21, 21. As far as their last 3 back-to-backs against the spread and straight up, they're 3-0. This is looking like Jazz and over to me. I mean, the Jazz, they're right now in the 5th spot, and everybody's close. There's they're only a half game ahead of 6, 7, and 8. 6, 7, and 8 are all tied. They're 2 games behind Portland. I mean, everything matters, and they've been rolling. They've been blowing everybody out. It feels like Jazz and over. I would like to agree with you on a play here, but if I don't, I probably will decide between the two.
Well, I tell you what, the second half of a back-to-back concerns me a tiny bit more for the side than it does on the over. I think you're bang on with the over. I think Atlanta's going to want to run, and Jazz have no problem playing that way. Now, Favors looks like he's fine with the hamstring. I think there's going to be points in this game as well. How could there not be points? I mean, how could this Atlanta Hawk team offer any resistance? And we just talked about that in the Denver-Washington game. I'm on the over. That makes a ton of sense to me. Over 226 at minus 102 at Pinnacle. I'm locking my first play on this NBA card in right now. Over 226 at minus 102 at Pinnacle. And what moves are you going to make on this game?
I'm with you, Jimmy. And if I don't make one more play throughout the rest of the card, I may take another look at the Jazz on the spread. But I am on the over. I'm locking it in right now.
Wow, look at King Rail. I took Atlanta moneyline personal bet. Ooh, shit. Rail on the dog.
That's ballsy.
Wow, I love those. I love those dog bets, man. That's exciting. That's exciting. You know why he says I'll tail that over with you guys? I'm on it. Let's book it. Chris Temple says Jazz and over is the play. Corey Jackson says nobody bets NBA during March Madness. Hey, we're just about that paper. However, we can get it by any means necessary. Now let's move on to Pistons at Suns. Take a quick look here. Oh, the total opened at 218. It's now down to 217.5 or 217. And, sorry, just dropping this SBRodds.com here. And Detroit opened up at minus 5.5. It was minus 7.5 across the board on the morning show. Some money coming back on Phoenix at minus 7. I tell you what, if you can trust, shout out to Dave L.A. in the house, our MLB expert who's already swept the Japanese series. Shout out to Dave L.A. What a great work. But in saying all that, the Suns look awful. Kelly Oubre done for the season now. They're clearly tanking. But do you trust this Pistons team on the road? Very, very difficult to do that. No Tyler Johnson tonight. So there's going to be a lot of DeAnthony Melton. He's not ready to do the job. No TJ Warren. Rashawn Holmes will be back. Can you make a move on Pistons Sunski?
I want to make a move here, and I talked to Rail and Jay Money about the Suns versus Bulls spot, and they said the Suns team. I cap a little different. They say the Suns team. You have to kind of look at it away from the numbers when they're missing some of these players. Like I mean that's with every team, but especially with Oubre out and a couple of these other players out. They're 7-2 against the spread their last 9. I think I kind of got to throw that out right now. Without Oubre, I think it's going to be more so kind of what we saw against the Bulls. And at the same time, it's hard to trust the Pistons because the Pistons, they just came and they were beating good teams. They were playing well, and then they couldn't do anything against the lesser competition teams the last few games, I believe. As far as these stats I'm looking at, Phoenix 8-11 when the spread is +6 to +9. 5-12 versus mediocre teams, 45 through 55% win teams. Detroit 6-4 when the spread is -9 to -6, 5-3 as a road favorite. 14-7-2 versus 45% win teams or less. 7-3 against the spread last 10. I feel like it has to be Detroit. Can we really trust them? If I'm not going to look at the spread, I mean the total. The Suns played the under at home. They're 22-13 at home. Pistons are 20-13 to the under on the road. They're 14-8 to the under versus the West. I mean, they're 30th in pace. It could be an under game. I'm looking for Detroit or under here.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it makes sense that Detroit takes care of business here, but I've just seen this story play out too many times with the Pistons shitting the bed on the road, and they allowed Cleveland to shoot 58.2% from the field on Monday, and that's just unacceptable. And if a Dwayne Casey team can't play intense defense on the road, I just can't trust them at all. But Al Hard says Detroit, Phoenix, under 217, Jimmy. And that may be the spot here, because you have to think, after the embarrassment that the Pistons, that Casey's going to drill into these guys, that they have to step up defensively. And can you trust his team's outside shooting? I mean, Wayne Ellington was their best outside shooter against the Cavaliers. I mean, you just can't trust them on an everyday basis to deliver on the outside. I like the look of the under. I like the look on the under. I think that makes sense. And I'm close to making a move on that. But I'd like to talk Mavericks Kings first. I'm close to making a move. Now, if you do jump on it, I will jump on it too. Are you going to jump on this under?
Well, I told you I want to make another play on this card here, and on this game, I was looking for either Detroit or under. So my goal is to have 2 plays today, Jimmy. If we can get through these other 2 games and I don't find a spot there, then I will be on the under.
I agree. Let's break down these other 2 games and see what's up. Mavericks at Kings. Kings coming off that unbelievable breakdown in the fourth quarter, orchestrated by Brooklyn's D'Angelo Russell, and they have to be angry. And Dallas is absolutely terrible. And the guys on Kings court got me off of Portland full game last night, and I thankfully so, because Dallas still covered, only lost by 8. Sacramento opens at -8.5, now the 9s across the board. Dallas total opens at 226, now 230s across the board, so it's gone up. And a lot of people think that Sacramento early's got to be the play. Here's Gabriel Hernandez says Kings should come out firing bullets. Ricardo Gutierrez says Kings scare me. Sweaty Butcher says Dallas Sacramento under 229.5. And Gabriel Hernandez saying Kings first quarter -3. You know, the Kings got to come out like hot cakes. I imagine that they got to be running first quarter. What do you think here, Ski? Mavericks, Kings?
The Kings better fucking care, man, because they pissed me off the other night with that performance in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, I would agree. If you like the Kings here, I'm not interested in really taking them to cover. They've lost 10 of their last 14 games. I mean, they can start out hot. That's what they've been doing, right? The last game, I think they were winning the first quarter by 12 points and melting down in the fourth quarter. So, Dallas, they've been hanging around in their road games. I mean, they've been being kind of, I don't want to say disrespected because Dallas is bad, but they've been covering. They're 3-0 against the spread their last 3 road games. Some of these stats, I mean, it was a different Dallas team, but they're 8-4 when the spread is +7 to +10, 11-6 versus 45 to 55% win teams. I would have to think I'm taking the points with Dallas. Kings, I mean, they're not going to make the playoffs either. They haven't really shown us much to want to back them, right? Like you said, if you like the Kings, I think the spot will be early, as in first quarter. And if not, on the side, I would have to look at Dallas plus what is it, 9 points? I think that would definitely have to be the move. And one more thing for the Kings, they allow 115 points per game. That's 5th in the league. So, I mean, maybe we see an over game, but then again, the Kings are under 20 to 15 at home. I don't think I have a move on this one.
Well, I am thinking that King Rail says over. I just feel like we missed out there. Missed out on the chance to take that over. The line's moved probably a little too much now. Sacramento -3 first quarter seems very appealing, but I do want to look at first half here. Sacramento first half -5. Yeah, they got to come out angry. I'm going to join the boys here. It just makes sense to me. I think I'm also going to jump on that under. I'm very close to taking that under in Pistons Suns, although I've not had the best read on the Suns totals this year. But I will jump on this Kings first quarter -3. They've got to come out firing here, and I'm on it. Kings first quarter -3. Let's move on to Pacers at Warriors. Very interesting spot here with a huge spread. Sorry, full game. Spreads and totals. Here we go. SBRodds.com. Delivering the goods. Golden State opening at -13, now -11s across the board. Total open at 222.5, now 219s and 218s, 218.5. Indiana, Golden State, Ski.
You know, this game, I kind of feel like it's a little different now. Is Kevin Durant playing? I didn't really see if he's out or not or anything, but I know the thing with his brother getting killed last night is pretty sad. So I just kind of feel like it might be a little different type of game. just emotional game, you know? Did you know if he's playing?
You know, for whatever reason, I've heard only people saying, "Oh, he's gonna," they're gonna come together because of this news. I haven't heard people saying that he's not gonna be in the lineup. I'm pulling it up right now here so I can get the
Well,
latest.
I'll cap it as if he's playing.
Okay.
When I looked at this game, Indiana, I talked about it pretty much the last few times they played because they've been on the road. They're a much better defensive team at home than on the road. They give up a lot of points on the road, or they're just disinterested, or whatever it is. But last 5 game stats, Golden State, they take the cake in all of them. As far as these other stats, Golden State's 10-6 when the spread is -13 to -10. They're 4-2 against the spread their last 6. They've went under their last 9 games. Only five, not only five out of the 9 have went over the total that we have tonight. So I'm just kind of thinking that it's such a low total. It's been so many under games. Maybe this one just cruises over the easy total of 220. The stats that go against it, I mean, Indiana under 7 of the last 8. They're 27-16 to the under on a day's rest. I've already said Golden State's went under their last 9. I just think it's maybe finally time for an over game. I'm not quite sure which side of the spread. Before, I would say Golden State spread, but with the news, I would maybe stay off of the spread right now.
I mean, King Rail says he's playing. I took a nice size bet on Golden State. To me, with the questions around the situation, that I feel a little uncomfortable making a bet on the side. And it's just this tragic stuff. I mean, there's lots of different ways of looking at it and finding angles with it. Steve Cordero says KD goes nuts today, 40 plus. We do know that being with your team and playing the sport that you've grown up playing and love playing can be a nice coping method, but I'm just a little hesitant taking the Warriors to cover this huge spread. I mean, and also I'm just a little hesitant to take the over when I can't trust the Pacers offense. We saw it against Portland. Now Portland can play good defense, but I just feel like it's sort of dangerous. I hear what you're saying about the total, but I just lost on the over with them when everybody was on the under, and I was like, yeah, are they going to keep catching these unders? But it opened at 222.5, now down at 218. Pinnacle's still hanging at 219. What did Pinnacle open it up at? Oh, just 220.5. Yeah,
Hey,
I
one
don't
thing I
know.
will say, Jimmy, if he is playing, I mean, after that, he should have. I mean, I think if he steps on the court, he's going to be motivated to have a good performance, right? Maybe he'll do it for his brother, and that will create points. So I would lean towards Golden State, probably either way. And I think I like the over in this game.
Yeah, I don't dislike it. Ty Clinton says Durant was at the OKC game last night when they retired Carlson. Or sorry, what's his name? Sorry, I'm looking at Darren Carlson's name. What the hell's his name? When they retired, what's his name's jersey? Sorry, I've lost it now. I'm barely sleeping with the madness amongst us. Pacers, Warriors. Elias Flores says Pacers have no chance. I'm hesitant to make a move here. I'm hesitant. Captain 24/7 says I like Golden State game in the over. Are you going to make a move on this?
I'm not. And the question I want to ask you, lastly, I want to go back to that Pistons game. And I see Rail here. I'm assuming he's talking about this. Who stops Blake tonight? And I mean, I'm thinking the same thing. I was thinking Pistons roll, and then again we had another comment here that says can't trust the Pistons at this time. Ricardo Gutierrez. Who stops Blake, Jimmy?
Yeah, the more I think about that Pistons Suns game, the more not only do I not trust the Pistons, but I agree who stops Blake. And because of that, I'm not going to take the under in the Pistons Suns. I'm going to take that off of our possible plays.
You know what? I'm going to take my time, Jimmy. I may tweet out the under. I'm not going to look so much on the Detroit side right now. Or maybe I will. I'm more likely than not, I'll tweet out a play on this game. But I'll just rock with the Atlanta over for now. And I'll crunch the numbers on the Detroit -7.5 or the under. And we'll see if I can tweet one of those out.
Before we go, let's just touch on this Nuggets-Wizards spot one more time. Do the Nuggets... I just don't feel... I just feel like the Nuggets are coming off that very important game against Boston on Monday. I mean, this just feels like a spot where they don't care. They don't care. That's my only fear. Maybe I'm missing an easy play here, but the Nuggets just don't
I agree, Jimmy.
They just don't need they could easily be, their heads could not be in it. Even though they're a deep squad, their heads could not be in it. And I'm hesitant to take this big spread in. And I don't have a lot of success on big road favorites anyways. Carlos Luder says, who's guarding Jokic? I mean, look at the way the Nuggets were playing at home before they came out here. Before they beat Boston, they were squeaking by bad teams. I mean, they beat the Pacers by 2. I forget who they played right before that, but they won another game on the last-second shot. Yeah, the Nuggets win, but do they cover double digits? Which you have to cover, basically, if you're taking a -8. So, and Isaiah Moore saying
Honestly,
Wiz first
Jimmy,
half cover.
Honestly, if I didn't take the Wizards yesterday, I might be on the Wizards tonight. Just because I said, just how you said Denver might not care, and Washington lost the game last night. This could be a makeup game. I mean, not necessarily saying they're going to win, but they have motivation, and they're 10-3 on the second of a back-to-back, 7-4 as a home dog, 7-3 against the spread last 10. I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm seeing effort from Washington, and the stats supporting Washington as far as that. So the only thing holding me back is I've been wrong two of the last 3 losses.
King Rail says they care. Golden State's a game ahead for first place. They're going to win the game. They care about winning the game, but they might think this is a bit easy. They might think this is a sort of easy. Okay, I'm starting to think about this Pacers-Warriors spot. Tyreek Evans went for 19 points in 29 minutes. He wants to play the point. He's going to get that chance without Collison in the lineup. That over's looking more and more appealing, and I'm very close to making a move on it. Pacers-Warriors over. Should I make the move, Ski?
I would have to see if Durant plays first, honestly, because if he doesn't, I don't really like it so much anymore.
I think that's a good point. I'm going to wait and see if Durant's in the lineup, and if he is, I'll jump on that. So at this point, I'm on Kings first quarter -3, and I'm on the over 226 at -102 Jazz Hawks. That's it. And what are you on, Ski?
I'm on that over in the Jazz Hawks, and I'm looking at that Detroit game. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the under, but I'm trying to decide Detroit spread or under 218.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it a lot. And King Rail making good points. He says, Ski, no, bro, Denver's too stacked offensively. Wizards looked tired last night. Wizards are also embarrassed with how they played last night. I hear both sides of the equation. I'm comfortable where I'm at, and I'll be watching your Twitter feed to see what you decide to do. Ski Prophet, thank you so much for joining the show. Where can we find you on Twitter, my man?
Oh, yeah. Find me at Twitter, Ski Prophet. Hit me up as long as I have time. I've been busy lately. I couldn't get back to everybody, but I'll get back on it. Just hit me up, guys. And shout out Tales from the ship. He told me stay away from those Wizards. He's been right.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Shout out to my man, Ski Prophet. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us. And there is the NBA card. Sort of tricky to some, but maybe some people think this is a walk in the park card. Now we get my man, Maxwell Smart, in the house, ready to break down the rest of this college basketball card. Man, Marquette better step up. Making me look bad. God damn. Okay, we have some big games coming up. Max, we have one game that's just about to pop off. Florida, Nevada. I listened to your breakdown and I jumped on the over. Is that your only play on this game?
As a true degenerate of college basketball betting, I could not stop myself at just taking the over. I am going up against my Wolfpack tonight.
Woo.
I'm getting with the crowd and respectable cappers. Can't even look at the camera right now. I'm taking Florida on the money line. I'm taking Florida on the spread. I think that with the way that Jalen Hudson has started playing basketball for this Florida team, he brings the element that makes them scary. And I'm taking the Gators.
Oh, man, that is heartbreaking. But sometimes it has to be done, Max. Sometimes it has to be done. Sometimes you got to go against your boys, man. Nothing wrong with that.
Yes, ideally, if it's the regular season or if it's non-conference season, we're talking about the first round of the tournament. They're going to be the laughing stock of the freaking West Coast if they lose and when they lose this game. So I'm battling my heart, my brain, and my favorite part for the ladies of the night on how to play this game. And in the end, the consensus won. The part that pleases ladies of the night and my brain, they won. So I'm taking the Gators. I don't like it. I'm not going to enjoy watching the game. I will be watching it, obviously. And I probably will be going a little crazy on live plays, as you guys have seen me do today.
Oh, that's hilarious. What a fun way to start. King Rail says, y'all tripping. We're going to smash them freshmen. And Young Vaughn says, Nevada, Max. And King Rail says, Max is no longer my friend. I know that's tongue-in-cheek. I know he loves you. Viper MB says, Nevada, too experienced for Florida. Florida going to choke. Far shot this time.
Yeah,
says,
but Jim, the problem is Nevada has everything going for them. What do they need to do with the basketball every time that they get it? Drive it. Get to the line. Get to the line 30, 35 times in this game. That's how their best offense is. When they're hanging around on the perimeter, like the Martin brothers do often, and they're taking these freaking fall away jump shots, I'm sorry, do you not know how strong you guys are? Wide-shouldered and with good size. Give the ball to Trayshawn Thurman. That's the guy that can actually win this game tonight. But I don't think that they're going to do that. I think that's going to be in Cody and Caleb Martin's hands, and I think that they are going to blow it. So I apologize for saying the things that I'm saying. I want to punch myself in the face, but I'm going with the Gators.
Hey, man, that's exciting. Matthew Berman screaming help. We're going to need a little more information, Matthew. Is that a capping situation, or are you in real danger? Let's move on to the next spot. Another play I watched your show, and I doubled up on. I am on Abilene Christian plus 20.5, and the over, thanks to your capping. Tell us more about why these are the moves to make.
Listen, this Albion Christian team has figured out how to play without Jalone Friday, BJ Maxwell. I think that Peyton Ricks is going to have a big game. I look for Hayden Farquhar to actually have a good game when I mention his name on your show. Last time I mentioned his name, he went 0 for 7. So I'm looking for a good performance from them. I think that they'll be able to stay in it first half. I think that this Kentucky team is going to be missing a huge element without P.J. Washington. The fact is, P.J. Washington is he's the lion on that rotation. He makes the defensive plays. He does the he makes pass deflection. He energizes. He gets the bucket when you need a bucket most. No insult to the ability of Reed. I just think that P.J. Washington, the confidence that he brings, everybody knows that he's the freaking pack leader on that team. And without him tonight, it's going to be definitely an adjustment period for Kentucky. I don't think that they're going to be in a game like Bradley and Michigan State were, but I think that Albion Christian is a good enough team that they can stay in, and I think that this 132, I can expect 75, 80 points from Kentucky, and I can see Albion Christian getting 60 or 65. So I place this number right as I saw John Rothstein post about PJ Washington not playing. And I'm on it for 2 units.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's keep rolling. I doubled up on those plays and love that I'm on them. And they're out on Twitter right now. Let's move on to the next big game. Now, I want to jump in here. And I haven't. It is your partner's play of the day. Is SBR Madness play of the day. St. Mary's, Villanova. Villanova opening up at -6, now at -4. His total opening up at 129, 120, now 127. Is Villanova being disrespected? St. Mary's in a bad travel spot. Can Villanova take care of business here, Max?
Well, we saw what travel spots, how they affected Belmont today. So I may be discrediting that aspect of the capping a little more tonight in this matchup. Although Villanova is not going to allow themselves to be slowed down like Gonzaga, knowing that St. Mary's just did that. St. Mary's is going up against another Goliath of a program, although it's not a Goliath of a team. I think that if Colin Gillespie is hitting his 3-point shot and they are moving the ball from inside the paint, putting the ball in the paint, and then allowing either Sadiq Bey or Crosby Roundtree to make the pass to the 3-point shooter on the perimeter. If they're not doing that constantly and they're not driving to the bucket with Eric Paschall and Phil Booth and they're settling for jump shots, I think that Villanova will be in problems. I think that this Villanova team definitely can surprise a couple teams in this tournament. I think that this St. Mary's team, after seeing what happened in the Minnesota game, has to be on Villanova's mind. I think that Villanova comes in and they win convincingly. I'm on Villanova. I'm on the over 127.5. I understand that my friend, our friend, the show's friend, Noli knows is on the under. And if that's true, I am shaking in my boots, but I am not getting off the total here.
Yeah. I just because Noli's on the under and the market moving towards the under, I'm not going to jump on the over with you, although I get it. But I will jump on Villanova with you. Villanova -4 at -105. That is available at Heritage. I have not made that bet yet, but I am jumping in. So I'm going to cut this here, out. And then Villanova -4, -105 from our friends at Heritage. And book it. All right, we're in business there. Love it. Great breakdown, Max. Let's move on to Farley Dickinson, Gonzaga. Another play where I'm tailing some of your bet, some of your action. I'm not going to jump on FDU, but I did jump on the over. I like the look, and thank you for leading me in that direction. Why are you on the over? And tell us more about your pick on the side.
Well, I'm an FDU guy. I like FDU. I watch them. I admire them. I know them, and I think that they're going to be up to the challenge against Gonzaga at least for a half, and I think that in the end, Gonzaga is going to call off the dogs, and I think that as this is going to be a lot of the guys on Fairleigh Dickinson's maybe only shot at an NCAA tournament game, I think that they'll be able to keep the score under 30 points. The fact is, I'm on Fairleigh Dickinson first half, I'm on them full game, and I'm on the over. These are both teams that are competent from 3-point distance. Gonzaga is a highly efficient 2-point scoring offense. They are definitely going to be up for this game. There is motivation. I don't think that motivation needs to be questioned in any NCAA game. So I'm just going to throw that out the window. Motivation does not matter. Every team's fucking motivated to play. So I just think that Gonzaga needs to work Killian Tilly into the offense a little more. This is a perfect opportunity for them to do so, and doing so would hopefully yield some very efficient offensive performance from him. I think that Gonzaga definitely is going to be able to score some points. I just know this FTU team and their 3-point abilities, and I think that they're going to be able to get their shot off. I think they're going to be able to make some shots. I think they're going to be able to make this game closer than the odds makers have said it. So you know where I'm at, and I know that you're on the over, and I think that we're in a good spot. I think that the line is at a good spot. I think that this number fits both of the teams, and I don't think that we're going to have a South Dakota State-Texas conundrum again.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I've loved your breakdowns on this show as well as your own show. Now, is it possible Michigan faces the same difficulties that Michigan State did just an hour or so ago? Montana's a good club. Montana maybe shouldn't be a 15 seed. Michigan opening at -15.5 now, -15. This total opens at 131.5 now, 128.5. Max, Montana, Michigan.
I don't trust myself to cap this game properly, so I'm tailing some of my fellow cappers in a great DM group that is currently named March Madness. All the members that are in the low bag chat or watching will know who they are and how talented they are. So on a game where I just can't decide or get a real edge on what to do here, I'm just going to tail one of my fellow cappers, and I'm going to take Montana plus the points. I'm going to take Montana on the first half for half a unit also.
Wow, okay, backing Montana first half for half a unit and full game for a full unit. Interesting. Very interesting, especially when a day like this when the dogs are eating. Seton Hall, Wofford, now opens Wofford -3, now -2.5. And after hearing your breakdown on your show, I wanted to jump on Seton Hall. I went and did a couple things here in the office. And Drew from the SBR forum said, take Wofford. If I can give you one message, he said, take Wofford. And I said, I'm not going to, but you may have talked me off of Seton Hall. Break down this game for me. Seton Hall, Wofford, Max.
Well, Seton Hall has a game-changing score. Wofford has a game-changing score. Seton Hall has played tough competition on their non-conference schedule. Wofford's played a little bit of tough competition on their non-conference schedule, but they didn't look good. Seton Hall has a win against Kentucky. When Wofford got their rematch against North Carolina, they got their freaking head thrown in the toilet and put through swirlies. When I look at the coaching, Kevin Willard has, I think, better defensive scheme. I think that they run better defense when it comes to man-and-man, when it comes to trap, when it comes to full press, when it comes to adjusting on the fly. And I think that it really is all dependent on the complementary pieces to Mr. Powell. And that starts with Quincy McKnight. I think that this team, although has left us wanting more and expecting more, I think that in this tournament setting, they are going to be ready for this. And I think that they are seated the wrong way. So I don't really have the statistical backup for it right now because Wofford does a lot of things good on offense, but I look at the level of competition. And although the Southern Conference is a very nice conference and I admire a bunch of teams, there is a class difference. So Wofford could mop the floor with Seton Hall. I have been wrong before. I lose bets. I think you guys all know that. But in this spot, you want to give me 3 points, you want to give me Seton Hall coming from the Big East, and you want to give me Miles Powell, no problem. I'm on Seton Hall.
Wow. Adam Marrera was talking to Allison because Allison says, damn, I'm on Seton. Because as soon as we started talking, King Rail said Wofford. Keith Sadler said Wofford. Trot Lamb said Wofford. Adam Marrera said Wofford. Mr. Gogser said Wofford. Oh, man. Dave L.A. said Wofford covers. We all go in the strip club. Wow. Well, you know what? I guess they will take me off of Seton Hall, but I will not jump on Wofford in this spot. Let's keep rolling down the line here. We are almost done. We have Old Dominion, Purdue. Purdue's been at 12.5 all day. That line has not moved. And this total opened up at 128.5 now, 127.5 or 126.5. ODU, Purdue, Max. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I'm already on Old Dominion. I already got a better number than this, so I'll just make this short and sweet. The fact is, Old Dominion has a very good senior backcourt duo. I think that Carson Edwards is a black hole when the ball gets them. He doesn't trust his teammates like his teammates trust him. I think that's going to be the difference. I think that if you can double team Carson in the right spots, then you can force him into turnovers, or you can force him into hoisting up bad shots, which he is very able and willing to do. We've seen poor shooting performances from this guy before. I think that this is a time where Purdue is a little overvalued. I'm on Old Dominion full game, and I'm getting on Old Dominion first half as well.
Wow, doubling up on ODU. Wow, that's appealing. That is very appealing. I might make a move on that as well. I like that breakdown. And then we got the game that my man Anthony Masternardi wants to talk about. He says, let's get to this Baylor game. Baylor, Syracuse. A lot of moving parts in this game now that Howard's out. Battle being dealing with injuries. Baylor dealing with injuries all season long. Baylor, Syracuse. Syracuse opening at -2, now -1.5. Do we trust Boeheim here? This total's dropped from 135.5 down to 129.5. Max, Baylor, Syracuse.
Yeah, on the side, when I was reading the chat today, I saw Dan Kelly. Dan Kelly, a great man, a great capper, a person that you want to be in the good graces of. If Dan Kelly says that he's going on Baylor, I'm getting on Baylor purely because of Dan Kelly. So I'm telling Dan Kelly, Baylor, full game. Give me that shit.
Dan Kelly knows this Syracuse team inside and out, and he is going away from them. Dan Kelly respects Boeheim enormously and is going away from them. I just fear Boeheim. I fear him in this type of a game. And that's why I'm hesitant to make a move on Baylor, but I understand why you guys are doing it. Did you take Baylor on the money line, Max?
Absolutely.
Wow. Jeff Joseph says, been telling you guys all week, Baylor is such a fraud of a team. Hughes is a play. Anthony Mastronardi says, yes, that's what I'm on. Triggerman says, Syracuse, no point guard? Wow. Different feels on this game and a lot of passion behind it. Are you making a move on the total here as well, Max?
I already have 2 plays on the total. It's at a higher number than the odds are at right now. So I'm not telling anybody to take it at this number. I'm happy at the number I got. And now that it's moved against me, I can't advise anybody otherwise.
Norm L says Orange will win. God, do I make a move on Baylor now as well? Okay. So
I got plus 108.
Yeah. ODU and Baylor. I'm going to make a move on ODU, I'm pretty sure, but I just need a little bit more time to make that decision. Well, that is all of the NCAA tourney games, but we have other games on this card, and Max knows these schools inside and out. Let's start with Florida Atlantic at Charleston Southern. Southern opening up at -3.5, now -4.5. This total skyrocketing up from 134 to 142.5, Max. Florida Atlantic, Charleston Southern.
Yeah, I jumped on the ass end of this number. I'm on the over 142. I'm on Charleston Southern. I bid on them at 3.5. This Charleston Southern team is led by Christian Keeling. They got Philandris Fleming coming off the bench. Both are very dynamic pieces from their conference. I think that Christian Keeling is the difference maker tonight on his home court. Definitely be aware of Xavier Stapleton's length, ability to drive to the bucket and score, not settle for jump shots. And Anthony Adler with his 16 points a game, he's definitely an efficient player that I have harped on a little bit this year. I just think that there's going to be points that are going to get scored. I'm looking for the favorite to win. I know that Florida Atlantic's done me wrong in some of these spots at this number before. I'm going against that trend. I'm bucking it, and I'm saying Florida Atlantic, you're going to freaking help me cash a ticket tonight. So suck on that.
I like it. What did you get that spread at?
3 and 3.5. But I would only advise taking 3.5. And now that I'm seeing it 4.5, personally for you, Jimmy the Bag, I would say not to get on it.
Okay, thank you so much for your insight, your leadership, and your care. Let's move on to St. Francis of Brooklyn and Hampton. Hampton opening up at -7.5, now -8.5. Yeah, King, I will ask him about Cincinnati in the morning. We'll go over some of the morning games quickly, but just want to get through these few games here. St. Francis, Brooklyn, Hampton. Hampton -8.5. The total's gone up from 153 to 157, Max. You got to play on this one?
Yeah, definitely is an interesting game because it's going to be a battle of contrasting styles. Hampton wants to speed it up. St. Francis wants to slow it down, but St. Francis can oblige to that speeded up style with Jalen Jordan, Glenn Santabria, and Rosie Hurley. So I think that they're going to be a good test for this Hampton team, but you have to also remember Hampton is dangerous. With Kalen Fisher and Jermaine Moreau, you have a outstanding scoring duo. I can understand why you see this spread at 8 or 8.5 points. But I got to go with the dog here. I got to go with the defensive team. I'm going to go with St. Francis. I think that they play tougher competition. The fact that this Hampton team is not the Hampton team that have made NCAA tournaments of past does give me some resolute. I think that 8.5 points definitely in their conference is an easier number for them to cover, but against a team that they have no familiarity with, I'm looking at the little guys on St. Francis Brooklyn to cover this number, and I'd be looking also at the first half, and I'd be looking at the over in the game. I think that there will be points that get scored, even though it's at 157. I would caution you because with a 5-point line movement from what I can see, that is just going to be a stay off for me, something that I have to play live.
I hear that. Yeah, I'm going to stay off this game right now. Randy Robinson asking about the Nevada-Florida spot. We're all on the over, and Max is going against his hometown squad, going against Florida. Most people in the chat are on Florida, but King Rail is on Nevada with a couple of his buddies, so we'll see what happens. Let's keep rolling along here. We have Kent State, Louisiana Monroe. Louisiana Monroe opening at -3.5. Now threes across the board. Total at 154.5. Now 155s. Kent State, Louisiana Monroe. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, sorry, I just got distracted from some fucking piece of shit on Twitter talking about you, Jimmy the Bag, and I literally wanted to take my pen and stick it right through his frickin' prison hole.
Oh,
But I'll
Max.
get back to capping games.
Yeah, don't worry,
And
Max. Such a waste of energy. Such a waste of energy. We don't give these guys any power. We don't care about them. Let's just focus on us, my man. But thank you for caring, but let's just focus on us, my guy.
So this Kent State ULM game is going to be a real interesting game because obviously you got the two Jalen's, Jalen Walker, Jalen Avery. Jalen Walker is ice in his veins, ready to step into a three-point shot whenever he gets the opportunity. But on the other side, you got some formidable pieces in a Travis Munnings for Louisiana Monroe, Michael Ertl, Dyshawn Smith. Dyshawn Smith, the transfer that came on in, he is an explosive scorer himself. I look for both these teams to be able to put up some points against each other, but I look for Louisiana Monroe to at least win first half. And I think that I'd have to wait till halftime, see how these two teams play against each other, what the pace is, and how their defenses are doing against the offenses, specifically from Jalen Walker and Dyshawn Smith. Because in any tournament setting, no matter what the team is, if you have a dynamic, game-changing, game-breaking scorer, I need to be able to see what kind of shooting game you're on, because not all players are like Marcus Howard who can go cold in the first half and turn it on in the second. Most guys, it carries over. So I got to do a little bit of eye testing.
Eye testing, going to take that one live. And then finally, we have Cal State Bakersfield, Cal State Fullerton. And that can't be right. This huge line move. Is that possible here?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Jesus. Wow. Okay, interesting. So I guess it's not that big. I guess, sorry, they have it wrong here on the odds. But yeah, Fullerton here opening up as -7.5 now, -5 or 5.5. This total shot up from 137 to 143.5. Max, you got to play on it?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at Fullerton in this spot. Obviously, I'm loyal to my fellow Canadians in Jackson Rowe from Toronto, Ontario. Very nice player for Fullerton, and it really is going to come down to the dynamic scoring of Allman and Ahmad. With these three guys, Cal State Fullerton can come and win on their home floor. The worry is how intense is the defense going to be for Cal State Bakersfield. Bakersfield has definitely been very stingy on their home floor. They do have a very hypnotic, very loud red color there. But I think that going on the road, yeah, there is some value with the dog. I just have to go with this Fullerton team. I think that they're much improved, even though they didn't have as much success as you would have thought. The prognosticators in the early season gave these guys less credit and thought that the results were going to be way poorer. So I think that Cal State Fullerton deserves a shot tonight. But I'd be looking at both these teams scoring points, even with this elevated total.
Wow, so you don't think that it's too late to jump on it?
Listen, it always can be the ass end, but that's the beautiful thing about having live plays and hedging. If you don't like something, you don't like the look of something, there's always another side of it. So in this time period, being March 21st and the season ending on April 8th, and that ending my gambling season, well, I got to get on as many games as I can. So I'll be on the total, and I'll be on the side.
Amen. You do you, man. This is your time. Your time to shine. All right, we got some early games tomorrow and big ones here. Cincinnati, Iowa. Cincinnati seemed to come on as the season went on. They're at -3.5. I will get this total up right now. Sorry, hit spreads and totals. And Iowa, Cincinnati, total open at 139, now 137.5. You have a feel on this one tomorrow morning?
Yeah, quite simply, it's Cincinnati or pass for me. I don't believe in this Iowa team. I don't believe in the coaching staff. I just don't believe in the fact that they can adapt to defense. It just always comes down to the same things for Cincinnati. What kind of consistency are we going to get? Are we going to get the Cumberland that is driving to the bucket with his strong, large body, not being able to be stopped, not being able to have the ball taken off of him, and then being forced to commit fouls on him and put him on the line? Or is Jaron Cumberland going to hang around on the perimeter, shoot jump shots and to be afraid to take it to the bucket. That's obviously the thing. I think that Cincinnati is going to play some rock'em sock'em, rock fight junkyard style. I think that they're going to make it ugly. I think it's going to be hard to watch. We're going to be like, this belongs in Division 2, not in March Madness tournament, but Cincinnati will prevail, and I believe that the under would have to be the spot I go on, even with this more efficient Cincinnati Bearcats scoring team. But I will say this. Fuck you, Kane Broom, you piece of shit.
Yeah, and you can say that, Max. You can say that. I like Cincinnati in this spot as well. And it just shot up to 4 as we speak at Pinnacle and Bovada. So the 3.5 just shot up to -4 at Pinnacle. And you always want to watch when Pinnacle's leading a move somewhere. Max and I talk about that all the time. So then, just for the early games tomorrow, you have any look or feel on Oklahoma, Ole Miss, or Northern Kentucky, Texas Tech?
I'll talk about the Oklahoma Ole Miss game. This is a very interesting spot for me. A good Power 5 battle, but I think that Ole Miss is definitely going to have to be the spot that I look at. Obviously, Oklahoma has been able to rise to the occasion in games and surprise us when we go against them. I just think that Ole Miss is going to be game planned. They had time to get prepared for this Oklahoma team. They've watched film on them. I believe that their front court is definitely going to have to play a vital role on the glass. I think that the guards have to get on the glass also. But if Ole Miss is missing shots or guys are just watching the shot and watching the board go up and not attacking, going after the ball, then Oklahoma is going to be able to ground and pound them and be able to hammer them into submission. Right now, I don't have a bet on the game. The fact that it's at a -1 line makes me think that the odds makers are definitely having a little bit of confidence in Oklahoma. I would have thought that this game would have been in the 4 to 5 point range, and seeing that it opened at a 2 or 2.5, and now at 1 gives me a little less confidence to advise anybody to lay it right now.
Very interesting breakdowns. Max, you are working so hard and still making time for our show. That means the absolute, it just means so much to us. Thank you so much, man. We have a big night ahead of us. Max, what was your SBR Madness play of the day?
So my SBR Madness play of the day was the FAU over, but as I said, it is the ass end of the line. I still think that it's a number that we can get over. I do caution my fellow low baggers on playing this, as my play of the days have been a little bit shaky, aka that goddamn New Orleans game. So research it, look into it a little bit if you have some time, and before you lay it. But that's my play of the day. I think that's where I know that I'm going to get points. I know Christian Keeling, I know Flangers Fleming, basketball wise, and I think that the way that Xavier Stapleton will be able to have advantages size wise against Charleston Southern and his matchup, I think that points are going to get scored. So I don't look at FAU to slow it down and turn this into a rock fight. I look at to be more the kind of pace that they have against a team like FIU.
Oh, man, I like it. I like it a lot, Max. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me go over my plays, Max, if you don't mind sticking around. My college plays, I jumped on the FDU Gonzaga over. I got over 152 at -109 at Pinnacle. That was after watching Max on SBR's Madness. As well, on SBR's Madness, I jumped on Abilene Christian plus 20.5 and the Abilene Christian Kentucky over 131.5 at -115 at Bookmaker. And I got plus 20.5 at -105 at Heritage. And then, as you guys know, I'm on that Florida Nevada. I got over 134.5 at -110 at the Greek. And those were the plays before I added on Villanova -4 at -105 at Heritage. And I may make a move on ODU that Max is on the first half and full game of. I may make a move. I'm just going to put a little bit more thought into it as I move over into the office. And these shows are over. And then on the NHL card, I have a ton of plays. Panthers, Coyotes over 5.5 at -120. Bruins -1.5 at -108. Hurricanes -110 on the money line against the Lightning. I beat that line move by 26 cents. Then I'm on the Canadians -1.5 at +190. I'm on the Blues -1.5 at -120. I'm on the Penguins Predators under 6 at +107. I'm on Oh, I'm off Blackhawks, off Avs Stars, off Senators Flames, and then I'm on Jackets -1.5 at +187. I was the line move that went against me with the goaltending change. And then I'm on the Knights -1.5 at +160. And I'm on the Kings under 6 at -113. That's my action on this card. Max, thank you so much for joining us. Where can we find you on Twitter? And what other shows are you up to? And before you answer those questions, once you're done answering those questions, can you please introduce our man, Lucrative Larry, who is having a tough time right now with his turkey being stolen. So please give him a real nice intro. His spirits are down right now.
Yeah, no, you can find me at MaxwellSmart420 on Twitter. You can find me at 9:30 in the morning and 4 p.m. Eastern on SBR Madness with my co-host, Drew Martin, a.k.a. The Polite Capper. And on Saturdays and Sundays, we got you covered. 10 a.m. Eastern. Saturday, we're joined by the great Mr. Ian Cameron at Bobano. And then on Sunday, it's just back to me and Drew. So we'll have you covered all weekend. We'll hopefully fill your pockets with money that you can take to a certain kind of club so you can serve a certain kind of soup to your bookies. And that's about it. So without further ado, let me introduce to you the man who gave you Sam Houston State plus 13.5 last night, Lucrative Larry.
Larry, my friend, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And I just want you to know that all the low baggers, everybody, feels terrible about your turkey being stolen, and just sending you love and energy, man.
Thank you, man. It's been really tough. When you're so close to somebody, you realize that life is really precious, and yeah, I mean, thing is, Jeffrey was oh, you think it's funny?
I can't even hear that.
You can't even hear that.
No. I heard something.
You think this is funny or something like that?
I could actually not hear. What was that? I don't know. I don't make.
You're not listening to that to the turkey sound. You're the one who planned this? I don't believe you.
I don't know. Can you get that louder? I can't even hear it.
Are you behind us?
I don't know what you're talking about. Does it piss you off when you hear the turkey sound?
Jeffrey was my friend. Jeffrey has been with us for 17. Jeffrey has been with us for 17 years already, and
Daryl Lyle says he doesn't have time for your shit today, Larry. You got to fucking play or not, man?
No play. That's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get. Freddie he can fuck himself. I don't give a shit.
I apologize for that, Larry. Taking this hard, taking this turkey issue very hard. I barely heard that turkey. I don't know if Freddie's playing a joke back there. I could barely hear it. A Twilight Latte says, "Isn't that a rooster?" So somebody heard it. Somebody heard it. I could not hear it from the booth there, and apologize, Larry. Thank you guys so much for watching this show. It's a big day. A big day. We have March Madness going. Murray State's going to roll and take care of business. Now I need the over in Florida, Nevada badly. Thank you guys so much for watching. But most importantly, leche. Los bookmakers.